and I'll use one trade and I'll flip a whole account and I'll get on the jet and I'm going to go chill.
Hey YouTube, welcome back for a new video. Today we have an interview with one of the great traders in Africa. His name is Dapo Willis. You don't know him, but I know him and I want you to know him too because he's one of the great traders in Africa and he's been showing his consistency on YouTube for many years. And today I have the opportunity to interview him and he's right here with me. Hey Dapo, how are you?
Hey man, how's it going? I hope you're good.
I'm doing fine. Thank you for the opportunity to interview you, man. Thank you.
Anytime, brother.
Today, I want to talk with you. I want to know a little bit about you, about your trading journey, where you come from, because right now I know that you are one of the top traders in Africa, and you also have very good investor. And I think that you're making good impact on YouTube and stuff like that. And I wanted to know a little bit more about you. So we're going to start with this question. How did you get introduced into the Forex market?
Well, I mean, like, that question is it's a very interesting question. Like, how did I start off in Forex? Do you want to hear the full story or what do you want? Tell me. How do you want this to?
It's up to you. If you can make it short, if you can just choose the main point of the story.
I'm going to summarize it real quick so that you don't sleep off. But
okay.
I mean, it was actually, I'm not going to be like most guys that tell you I started trading Forex because, I don't know, most people have one funny story of divine intervention or God spoke to them. God didn't speak to me, first of all, that's for sure. I was actually watching a movie called Wall Street Money Never Sleeps. It was done by Shia LaBeouf and Michael Douglas. This was before Wolf of Wall Street days, long before Wolf. This was 2010, 2011. Wow. Yeah, so I watched the movie. I was fresh out of secondary school. I had a business idea that I really wanted to push, but at the time, my parents weren't really having it. So I stumbled on the movie, long story short, and the main character in the movie, his name was Shia LaBeouf. You should know Shia acted, he was the main character in Transformers. You know the guy in Transformers?
Yeah, with cars and everything, yeah.
He's a real G. So the guy, I need to move my seat back a bit so my camera can capture my head properly.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he was the guy, and long story short, in the movie, the guy was making a lot of money. His boss at the time gave him a bonus check of 1.4 million US dollars. He was living in a nice apartment in Manhattan in New York, had a nice girlfriend. Everything just looked nice. I liked his suit, I liked his shoes. I'm thinking, what is this guy doing? Like, what does he do? And then obviously I watched the movie and I found out he was a stockbroker. And then, yeah, initially I wanted to do stocks, but growing up in Africa and Nigeria, you have a lot of limitations and restrictions. In a stockbroking account, I'm sure you probably couldn't open a brokerage account until you moved to the States yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly. So being from Africa, like you, especially if you want to trade like US stocks like Amazon and shit like that, you really can't do that. So Forex had the lowest barrier to entry at the time. And I could still trade. So I'm like, you know what? This Forex, I didn't want to trade Forex. I hated Forex. I was like candlesticks, like I want to know the company, I want to know the mobile, I want to know shit. I'm like, okay, this candlesticks. I'm like, and then I started trying, obviously lost most of my inheritance that my grandfather left for me about that blew it in like that, I was gone. And that was, once you get into Forex, like it's almost impossible to leave Forex. You become a trader from. So that's exactly how I got into Forex, mate. And the rest they say is history.
That's nice. But today, I think you're doing good. You didn't like it at the beginning, but now you're doing good. So, yeah.
This was 2011, bro. This is a long time.
Wow. So how long have you been trading now?
How long have I been trading for? I've been trading for right about, I would say officially since 2011.
Okay.
So sometimes I forget. So I forget because there's the demo aspect of trading, you know. So I can't remember, late 2011 middle 2011. So definitely over 10 years. I think what I'm going to do is going to cap this year as my 10th year in Forex, because I've been training for 10 years. Because I know I've been training for 10 years, but because I can't really remember when exactly in 2011. So we're just going to count this year, 2022, as my 10th year in Forex. And then obviously I'm going to celebrate 10 years in the industry. My birthday is the 20th of April. I'm going to celebrate 10 years in the industry. 10 years. So I've definitely been trading for a very, very extremely long time. You know, so that's pretty much it. So yeah, 10
that's
years.
cool.
Yeah,
that's cool, man. That's cool. So what type of trader are you? Are you a day trader, swing trader, or scalper, or maybe you do everything?
I wouldn't consider, I'm definitely not a day trader. I'm definitely not a scalper. I'll consider myself more of a position swing trader. So I'm a medium-term swing trader. Now, what this simply means is if I get into a trade, and usually my take profits are usually quite large, anywhere between 350 pips to 5,000 pips. Okay? Wow. Yeah, I like to catch. I like I'm a whale, right? I like to catch the big moves. So if my take profit hits the same day, that's cool. You classify that as day trading. But most of the time, it takes about a week, a week plus for my take profits to get hit. So that's why I said medium-term swing trading, because you can take 3 days, you can take 1 week. I've held a trade for 9 months before. That's my longest. Yeah, I held gold for a very long time, extremely long time I held gold for. So yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a day trader. I'd say I'm more of a medium-term position trader. I think that's what I'll call it as.
It's very difficult for a lot of traders to do this type of trading, because position trader is usually what banks and institutions are doing. They're holding long terms for like months or many, many weeks. And a lot of traders don't do it because we don't see it a lot. So how do you feel when you trade like that? Do you feel any stress, or do you feel relaxed when you're up in profit and after the trade come back in drawdown? Because, I don't know if you can place your stop loss or maybe your break even when you're in profit, or maybe you have to leave the trade for like days to see if you can reach a certain level on the market before to place a break even. Yes, okay.
I mean, to answer your question, how do I feel when I hold my trades for a very long time?
Yeah.
I feel great, actually. The longer you spend in the industry, the more you start to realize that less is more. Okay, yes. Trading and holding is actually a lot less stressful than always being in front of your screen. And these are principles that I preach on my channel most of the time. So I actually feel great, because that means I can place a trade and go spend time with my family, because I run several businesses. I have a life at the end of the day. Trading is not my life. I own 4 different organizations. I own 4 different companies apart from trading. So placing my trades and going and letting it run is actually the most realistic and sustainable approach to trading the markets. And health-wise, it's better for me, because I remember being a young trader and I walked into the hospital just for like a general check. I think there was something wrong with my head. And I went to the hospital, and the doctor cleared me and like, oh no, just take this medication. That day I was actually with my grandmother, and he called her aside. He was like, listen, he said to her, like, listen, your grandson is borderline hypertensive. What does he do for a living? So he had to call me back into the doctor's room, and we were like, listen, what do you do? Like, what? Because I wrote financial consultant. That was my job description. So I told him, I said, for your age, your blood pressure is too high. If you don't take care of yourself, you're too young to start going on blood pressure medication. So I had to really, that was the point where I had to really take some steps back and actually, had to say to myself, like, yo, listen, it's not healthy for me to day trade. It's an emotional roller coaster. Something needs to be done. So that was when I actually decided to start tweaking my strategy a lot more to a situation whereby right now I would hold like oil, or at the time I'm recording this video, I've been holding oil since $72 a barrel. Or
Yeah,
you're
I think
just
I saw your video, your last video.
exactly.
Yeah.
I call the prediction, so I'm calling massive moves. Like if the pip count on that is well over 2,000 pips, what am I saying?
Yeah.
2,000, well, just on about 2,800 pips. So, and I called it maybe December and early December. So
Okay.
I've been holding. These are the kind of trades I
Wow.
like to hold. Exactly. So
Okay.
I'm chilling, bro. Like I don't have to stress. And to summarize that, the market is supposed to work for you. The market is an
Yeah, that's
investment
true.
vehicle. Exactly. You have to allow the market work for you. So I've got it like this is the mental hack to the game.
Yeah.
Knowing that the market is here to work for you and you not working for the market because you always been in front of the screen. You
Yeah,
are a slave to the market. You're a slave to the digits. You're a slave to the brokers.
that's true.
But understanding that the market is here to work for you, it's like every other investment, but like buying a house, you get what I mean, and keeping it
Yes.
for the equity to grow. This is the same thing with the money. In stock markets as well. You buy the stock and allow it grow. So why do people think they can come into Forex, and want to flip? There's a
Yeah.
very thin, bro, I can go on and on. There's a very thin line between trading and gambling, and a lot of people
Yeah,
are
that's
crossing
true.
that line when it comes to Forex, right?
That's
They're actually
true.
gambling and they're not trading. So I'll just leave it at that. I can't even remember the question you asked me. I just keep going, man.
Yeah, it also because of YouTubers nowadays, traders on YouTube they show Lambos, they show like this quick rich scheme lifestyle. It's so
Mm.
easy. You're gonna come and you're gonna get money since the first day, but it's not. That's not the reality of day trading or even trading in general. So I want to ask now, what pair do you usually trade?
So when it comes to my trading pairs, I like to stick to the majors. So the
Okay.
majors are basically the US dollar based pairs, USD CAD, Euro USD, GBP USD, AUD USD, USD JPY, although I haven't traded USD JPY in over 6 years now because
Wow.
it's absolutely messed up. Yeah, it's that USD JPY is absolutely messed up at the moment. I don't even advise anybody to trade, but I like to stick to the majors, and I like to stick to the majors because, should I explain to you why I like to stick to the majors? Why I like to
Yeah,
trade?
go ahead. I'm sure a lot of people want to hear that.
All right, cool. So I'll tell you why I like to stick to the majors. I like to stick to the majors because you see the thing about US dollar based pairs, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the fact that the entire world is trading US dollar. Euro USD is the most traded currency pair in the world,
Yeah,
USD, Euro USD.
yeah,
You have GBP USD. So you see, you have to understand that the market moves based on mass human psychology.
exactly.
If I have a population of 700 million people trading the Euro USD, everybody has the same principle and the same market ideology of support and resistance. I'm getting somewhere with this. Everybody looks at this, everybody knows what a support looks like, what a resistance level looks like. Everybody knows what a higher high and a higher low looks like. Now, because of this fact, everybody is kind of like looking at the same patterns and trading in almost the same way. So I would rather trade a pair that a lot of people are trading because it makes it a lot more easier for me to read the patterns.
Yeah, that's true.
Mass human psychology. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just like a support level. If you look at the Euro USD chart, for instance, you can see proper significant higher highs and higher lows.
yeah, it's pretty easier to read that. Yeah,
Exactly. But if I took you to Euro CHF or Euro
yeah, it's kind of messy. Yeah,
messy because
yeah,
it's not a lot of liquidity going to the market. It's
exactly.
less people, it's less money. But the Euro USD, there's more liquidity, there's more volume. You can see the thing is respecting, he knows his resistance levels, he knows it. So I would rather, there's no pride in trading the most obscure thing. There's no pride in even being the best trader. The pride comes, and this is where the pride lies, in your ability to go into the market and extract money. I want the easiest setups possible.
That's
I'm
true.
not, if a pair is setting up in a way, I've been doing this for 10 years. We both established that, right? So bro, like if a pair is acting like, a bit funny, Euro USD can be acting a bit, I will leave it alone. I'm not, you see, sometimes I come on my YouTube channel, I'm like, dude, I don't have a trade for the next 2 weeks because I don't like the vibe this Euro USD is giving me, or I don't like the vibe this, but do you get me? Like, I need it to be very obvious. I need the market to be as obvious as possible, whereby if I brought my 7-year-old nephew, my 7-year-old cousin, and I told him everything is fine, he'd be like, it's going down. There we go down. There we can sell this shit, boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this is my philosophy. I trade the most obvious, and obviously hence the top-down analysis. But yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it did exactly. I think you want to keep it simple, very, very simple, and don't complicate things.
All those extra pairs, man, it doesn't make any sense. You just get confused for no reason. That's people trading obscure things, man. So right now, to further answer your question, I think somebody commented on my YouTube channel like, bro, why do you keep trading AUD USD? To be honest, I'm trading AUD USD a lot at the moment because it's providing me it's aligning with my current strategy. It's aligning with my way of trading. Because at the time I didn't trade AUD USD for 2 years though. I was trading GBP USD. So for me, I think if I look at my historical trades, if I pulled up all the trades I placed in the past, I think you will see a pattern whereby I focus on certain pairs for a period of time. So GBP USD was my boy from like 2016, 17, 18, 19, and then it just went berserk.
Yeah, that was, I think, that was around Brexit. I think it started to have
exactly.
a bit weird.
Brexit, GBP USD
and
was
COVID too,
exactly, up until you got to a point where it is right now, where it's a bit more difficult to interpret and read. So if it's difficult, I can read it. I can still place profitable trades. Oh, trust me, I will scalp. Like I would scalp. Like I would knife it out. Do you get what I mean? But my point, you know what? Like I would just rather pick something that is a lot easier for me to trade and something I can trade and go relax. So over to you, bro.
You're not gonna trade something that a lot of people are not trading because there's not volume, there's not enough liquidity, and the pattern are difficult to be recognized. So you're gonna trade something that make higher low, higher highs, and you can see it perfectly. You don't have to overcomplicate everything because I think when you keep trading simple, you start to notice that you don't have to trade every day, and you only have to trade the best setup that you see in the market. And that's a good example of saying that too. And I want to ask, I know that you use your own strategy, but I do want to talk a little bit about it. What do you think what kind of edge do you think you have that other traders don't have? How do you see the market overall that you think other traders don't see the market like that? So that's why they're not consistent.
Okay, when it comes to my edge, I have a lot of edges, space sharp.
Okay. It makes sense, because if the market evolves, so you need to evolve too.
Yeah, my edges are a bit sharp because I'll tell you why my edges are a bit sharp. My edges are very sharp for a couple of reasons. Okay. First of all, experience. Looking back now, experience plays a huge role because I'll tell you what it is, my cheat, my secret. I'm gonna here first. Okay?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
This game, I'll tell you what my cheat game. Because I have looked at the charts so many times. Like I was in university when I would make my noodles, my Indomie, my school desk. You know what I mean? When I'm eating on my school desk, like in my dorm room, I'm watching Forex video. When I'm sleeping, I'm watching for it. Like I'm back tested. I'm back. I can tell you where gold chart starts from. It starts on 1974. I can tell you that Euro starts on 1984. Like I'm back tested. So like I have, apart from back testing, I have also lived through various market cycles. So if we're dating back to 2011, I've lived through things like Brexit. I've lived through things like, just like
a lot of crises,
Like I've lived through various market cycles whereby the market has eaten my money. Like the market took my money. Like, the market took my money. You know what I'm saying? So
I
like,
remember too. I remember Brexit. Market, it's my money too. Yeah.
oh, you know what I mean? So the market needs my money. You know, so
Uh,
man, a lot of it comes from trial and error, bro.
yeah.
So when I open up a chart now, I can tell you, no matter how glamorous a setup is, I know a stop loss when I see a stop loss before it happens.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? And I know a trade, a market that is about to take off. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
a market
Yeah.
can set up like this and
Yeah.
then start coming down. But based on the way it didn't come down and it starts hanging like this, I
Yeah.
said, this guy is heading here. And then I go on YouTube and obviously I do the analysis and everybody's like, this nigga is a magician. I'm like, well, I see this
Yeah.
shit
I
times.
think yeah, it's just about all price action, how to read the market. I think people they tend to predict the market, but I think you have to react to the market because the market is like talking to you. And when you're trying to predict, it's like you know the future and you know what the market gonna do. We never know what the market gonna do if it's gonna go up or down. So what you have to do is just read price action and react to the market because it's
Exactly.
like for me, that's what I do. I just react if I see that, okay, we are at support level and the support has been retested many times and it becomes now a demand level. I'm going to try to take a buy at the support level. I'm not going to try to take a sell or maybe wait for price to break out and take a sell. I think that's how you have to approach when we're trying to react instead of predicting because we can't predict the future. We don't even know if tomorrow we're going to be still alive. So how are you going to predict the market? It doesn't make sense at all.
Honestly, like that makes a lot of sense. Like I must commend you for that. Kid, a lot of traders are more of predicting than reacting. You have to actually react to the market. You're actually spot on. But like I was saying, apart from experience, so I've given you the secret, right? So
Yeah.
now the other secret, because a lot of people are like, but I'm new to the market. I can't really relate. You have 10 years of experience. What about people like us?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the other edge that I have is my ideology and my methodology to Forex, which I obviously teach in the Forex Mastery program. You probably heard me speak about it a lot of times.
Yeah.
You feel like, oh, this guy is just here to sell his course. Now, exactly. But initially, it used to bother me because my team used to tell me, so you have one of the best content out there. Your course is one of the best. First of all, it's cheap and you don't speak about it that much. I used to feel bad. But now I don't care anymore because I know the value in it. And the value is here.
Mm-hmm.
You see, the way the market works, right? The people who move the market, the investment banks, the hedge funds, they're not exactly particular about lower time frame movements. You see, you have the intraday traders who are going in there to fulfill orders and take that quick buck. You have the algorithms on a lower time frame, 5 minute, 10 minute, trying to make some pips here and there. That's fine. However, when I was learning how to trade Forex, what really changed the game for me was when I started reading JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, Merrill Lynch. When I started reading their Forex forecasts, for the year, I started reading it and I was like, okay, these are how the big boys are predicting the market. This is how they see the market. What are they doing differently? Because these are the guys that are actually profitable. Retail traders are not profitable.
Yeah, most of them, 98% are not even,
Are not. So I wanted to understand what makes these investment banks extremely profitable. So I started reading the analysis and I now started analyzing in accordance to their own analysis. And I started to
Don't tell me. Let me guess. They trade on the long term?
Yes.
That's what? Okay. Because I thought about that too. Because it makes more sense. Sometimes you can see a setup on daily or 4 hours, but when you go in 15 minutes, 30 minutes, your stop loss get 8 and after it goes in your direction.
That is exactly what I'm saying. So, I was, started studying, everything. And I realized that, listen, these guys are predicting 5,000 pips into the future. They're predicting that by the end of the year, gold should have, like I took almost 8,000 pips from gold when I held it for 9 months. I had 2 positions. I banked 5K, 3K. Whoever is watching this, you can put a link to my YouTube channel. They should backdate it to 2018. I was doing this thing. So first things first, I need to look at the market from their perspective. where is the flow of the river? Where is this market heading to? So I would always do my analysis on the highest time frames, which are the monthly and the weekly.
Okay.
And then once I can anticipate a clear direction, now how do I anticipate or how do I analyze these higher time frames? Well, you might need to get the program, but I'm going to explain to you just the thing. The thing is, I use very, very basic price action concepts. I just take them to a higher time frame and then do the analysis on that time frame. And then I'll analyze it like I'm analyzing on a 1 hour time frame, like I'm about to get into a trade. And I'm going to let the monthly act like it's setting up. Because if a monthly time frame is setting up, best believe it's going to move 4,000 pips. If a monthly trend is about to break its trend line, instead of looking at the 1 hour time frame whereby a trend line break is 100 pips or 70 pips, you know what I'm talking about? This is a monthly time frame. It's about to give you some serious 4K pips. I wait for the 4K to gain some steam. Then we start working our way down. Then we look at the weekly. And then on the weekly is usually where I come to plot my key levels. How to plot key levels is another thing whereby indicators can never help you. I can't explain that here. You have to get the program, but there's a technique. There's a technique to it. If you watch it, let me just what I mean. There's a technique to it. These key levels, if a market wants to move 4,000 pips, for example, these key levels will help me identify within these 4,000 pips, which are the major barriers, so that even if I get into a trade, I can at least anticipate within these 4K pips, I can ride this thing to 1, 2, there might be a reversal here, or I should wait for a break. It will guide me. Those will not be the barriers that will guide me. They're usually maybe like 700 or 1,000 pips away, depending on, you know, the market scope and stuff like that. So monthly, identify the full direction. Weekly, plot the key levels. Now on the daily is where I then come. Now, people can often confuse this. Dapo Willis has a lot of money, and that's why he always trades on higher time frame. I don't trade on higher time frames. I simply do my analysis on the higher time frame.
Okay.
Exactly. So on the daily time frame is where I now come and say, okay, for example, oil prices have hit $100 a barrel. I saw the whole move on the higher time frame, right? So what I then did was, once I was able to anticipate the bullish momentum, I just simply came on the daily time frame. Now, on the daily time frame is where I now come and try and watch out for the trend within the trend. I'll give you an example. Oil prices were looking like they wanted to start trending upwards. If I come on the daily time frame and the daily was trending downwards, there's a conflict.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. But so I need the daily time frame, because it is the daily time frame trend that I can now actually zoom into to find the pullbacks to now enter.
Yeah.
So it is the daily time frame trend that I've now zoomed into that now takes me to the 4 hour, where I now start looking for potential place to execute, or a 1 hour where any strategy
that makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. It perfectly makes sense, because I usually approach kind of the same way. I look at the daily and the 4 hour time frame, and when it's bullish, I want the daily, 4 hour, and 1 hour to be bullish, you know, and I enter on the 1 hour. That's what I do.
Issues, because everything is in accordance. Do you get what I mean? So once I then get to the daily, and then I see the daily trend, I can then zoom into a 4 hour and then start looking for a buy trade in accordance with the whole thing. You get what I mean? So now so what I'm doing is, the higher time frame has given me 4,000 pips into the future. I then want to scale to look for the most precise entry. This way, I can enter and still keep my stop losses at a bare minimum of about 50 to 60 pips, and be able to hold it to catch up with the monthly time frame of 4,000 pips. So this is how I can use a 60 pip stop loss and catch an entire. So all I need in a whole year is one of those, and they happen a lot. So I will have a 60 pip stop loss, and I will use one trade, and I'll flip the whole account, and I'll get on the jet, and I'm going to go chill. Whereas this guy who went for IML live, he's trading session, he's trading this crossover, he's trading, have different names for their strategies, from so this is a realistic approach. And I realize that this works for any financial instrument because, bro, and it's pure price action, pure technical analysis. Like if you can understand higher highs and higher lows and double tops and double bottoms and some certain chart patterns, you can analyze anything. Anyways, on to the next question before I bore you.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. So for people who want to know how Dapo Willis approach the market, you just give like a breakdown of his strategy from the higher time frame to the daily time frame where he took his entry. So that was good. I have a question that I think you already know that there are a lot of companies out there right now that fund people like FTMO, My Forex Funds, and other many funding companies. But what do you think about it? What do you think about the strategy of funding people?
What do you mean, like from whose perspective? From
you, a day trader, but right now you have your own capital. Let's say if you didn't have enough capital to fund your trading account and you want like a 100K account and you want, to be a funded trader, are you gonna trade with a platform or are you gonna trade your lower capital and try to find investors by showing a track record?
Bro, you see, I've been in this industry for too long. Yeah. I know, like, if I talk, these boys they're going to kill me. If I talk, I'm just going to like educate you guys on some things, right? So I have no issue when it comes to getting a funded account, right? There's no issue getting a funded account. As a matter of fact, I would advise people to opt in for FTMO. FTMO is a fantastic idea. Start your trading journey, and stuff like that. I like the idea that as long as FTMO is actually giving these traders money to trade, and that makes a lot of sense because part of the issues that I've found throughout my journey was, or rather that I discovered, that was plaguing a lot of the traders, that was hindering their success, was the fact that they had limited access to capital. I started to see a lot of traders who used their capital to learn and then didn't have any money left to trade when obviously they now became really good. So FTMO is giving people money. That's absolutely fantastic. But I usually like to use a different approach. I like to grow my own small capital and look for investors myself. That might be a bit old school, obviously with FTMO now, but it's just my own way of doing things. Now, no offense to FTMO, but FTMO is making a lot of money.
They're sure making a lot of money because a lot of people fail, because you have to make 10% in a month, and you only have 20 days exactly because we have 30 days in a month, but 20 trading days. And are you gonna make 10% in 20 trading days if you don't have good opportunities? People are different. Some people make it. Some people they make 5, 6. I tried FTMO. I tried and I made like I think 6% the first month, and I had to start again with a free retire. And I was like, I think I'm wasting my time doing that because I know, but I'm not a great trader. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm all right. I can make 5% every month. If I have like a big account, let's say like 100K, if I make 5% every month, that's 5K a month. It's not bad. It's not a lot of money, but it's still good because you're still making money at the end of the day. But I noticed that 10% in a month for me, it has to be like an easy market. Like right now we have Russia and Ukraine. We have the war that's coming, and right now impacting the market. You saw gold yesterday. Gold went up, crazy. Gold went up. I think it's around 1900 right now, and Bitcoin is going down. So this type of market conditions are it look easy, but it's difficult because you don't know where to put your stop loss because market can be volatile for no reason, and what I'm saying is that from your perspective, you think that if a guy starts to trade today and is learning, and after a few months, he's saying some consistency and he wants to opt for the trader account, do you think it would be good for him to do that? Because for them, when you trade the account, you don't have to pay back for the losses. If you down 5% a day, you're out of the program. But do you think that if you trade for an investor and he sees that you are down 5% in a day, how do you think he's going to react? Is he going to take his money back, or is still gonna let you trade the account? Because it's
So
different from a prop firm.
yeah. So to be very honest with you, like prop firms have their advantages and disadvantages. Trading directly for an investor has advantages and disadvantages. And because of that, I can't exactly categorically state that one is better than the other. But I would just want to say something, right? FTMO is a laudable idea. As a matter of fact, I wish I came up with a business idea because they're making so much money.
Yeah.
And I must commend them for giving traders the opportunity. However, you can't ask traders to make XYZ amount of money. They know, they understand what's going on in the market. They know that there are not that many, like traders struggle. So, and they're capitalizing on that fact as well. But you can't blame them. They're giving you the opportunity to make money.
That's true.
And it's not their fault, but it's just, it's just how it is. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone will give you the money, they'll give you the safety, they'll give you the security. You don't need to, that's fine, you can go for FTMO. On the other hand, I prefer the investors round. Now, back to your question, if I'm down 5%, this is what I do when I'm taking on funds, because I take on a lot of money. In my contract, I always have the maximum drawdown clause. It has never been activated before in my entire trading career, but I like to put that because it makes me feel comfortable when I'm trading. I sleep better at night. The clause simply states, if we lose your money up to 20%, we have to give you back your funds. So we have a negative 20% window to play with, because there are times whereby you kick off the trading, the trading year, or you kick off a trading account, and the first 2-3 trades are not profitable.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes you time for you to get back in your groove. So having a maximum drawdown clause allows you to be able to wiggle your way back into profitability.
Yeah. And I think with 20%, you have more room,
Yeah, because my maximum, like my risk per trade is 3%. So it will take me almost 7 trades, 7 bad trades for me to not blow the account, for me to have to give it back. Do you get what I mean? And do you get what I mean? Which is almost impossible. It's never happened before. But I'm just saying, like, this gives us, time to just chill. And when it comes to, so this is the conversation you need to have with your investor. FTMO, you said, like, I didn't know that FTMO takes back the money when you're down 5%. I didn't even know that. That's unfair. Because they know you have to come and pay another school. It's not
exactly. You have to come again, do the program, challenge everything. Yeah.
They know, like, there's certainly a challenge that they know most people will fail, as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly.
FTMO, sorry, I'm saying this, but you guys, I don't give a shit about your sponsorship. You don't have to. I don't give a that, bro. This is Dapo Willis. Screw you, FTMO. Why are you back after 5%? Guys, tune in to Willis University. We don't charge any monthly subscription. Come and learn how to trade properly. You don't have to pay every month, $99. Don't kid yourself on this.
Only 99. There are people out there that change for like 1,000, 2,500, and
man, because I'm a trader. Like, I live this life you guys are living. Like, the companies always wanted to take from my pocket without giving me any proper value. So I always say to myself, like, when I get up, I'm gonna make the environment. I'm gonna bring what is so glamorous. I'm gonna bring it down, and I'm gonna give it to everybody, and just be like, this is the holy grail that they've been hiding from you guys, or you get what I mean? This is exactly what it is. So exactly. Guys, if FTMO works for you, use FTMO. But I'm an investor guy, because with the investors, I can speak to them, I can negotiate with them, I can tell them this. And with investors, I can tell them, like my investors, I give them very realistic expectations.
Yeah, I think that's true because some investors they won't understand it because they are not traders. You know, they only put the money. They don't understand what it takes to trade
These are the
exactly.
ones that have to sleep, stay up at night with heart pain and stuff like that. You know, like we're the ones that are wondering when our stop loss is going to hit. Oh God, please, that
Exactly.
my stop loss.
Yeah.
Guys, I've prayed inside the bathroom before. Like I've gone on my knees. I put the shower on. I beg God, God, if AU, please just this. God, I will never risk one of my risk again. I will never risk high again. If
Yeah.
you, I was begging God, like God, if you just do this, bring this trade back down for me to my entry. Of course, he
Yeah.
got stopped out. He got stopped out. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So, oh, it's
We
crazy.
all did that. I think we all did that, praying for a trade to come back at the entry and close. And as soon as it come back at the entry, you're like, okay, let's go on to take profit. You change your mind. That's crazy. And but the next question is like, what advice would you give someone who just start to trade?
So my number one advice for people, for somebody who just started trading is, first of all, get your education right. But
Mhm.
secondly, education, so I'll give you an example, something like the Forex Mastery Program. A lot of the traders will not, a lot of the new traders will not appreciate the Forex Mastery Program because it's mostly for traders who have experienced the market before. If
Okay.
I tell you indicators don't work, signals don't work, new traders don't want to hear that.
Yeah, but I don't want to hear that. You don't
They
want to
don't
like
want to
it.
hear that. So for me, experience the market.
Mhm.
Put money in, put $100, put $200, lose the money. Because only when you lose money in trading are you then prepared to actually calm down, listen, and learn. So
Yeah.
experience the market, test the waters out for yourself. Give it, don't rush into any, well, you can get some programs, but don't really click buy, sell, take baby pips, explore yourself and mess up, make money, grow a flip a demo account, flip your $100 to one that and blow it. You need to get it out of your system so that you can now, take stock and inventory of yourself and be like, okay, I've been there, done that. Now, what is the most realistic approach to making
Yeah.
consistent? So do your thing, man. Express yourself. Give yourself 6 weeks to dabble with the market.
Yeah.
Then only then can you now start looking for decent programs. And that's when courses like the Forex Mastery Program will make sense to you because then you will actually listen to me and be like,
Yeah.
okay, okay, moment. Hey, this is why you said it, oh, this is why I got it wrong. So
Yeah.
that's it.
And I also want to add something because what you said is really, really good. But I want to add something. When you start trading, don't try with like a 3,000 or maybe $10,000 account demo because you know that you don't have that money in your account right now. So
Right.
start with like 100 demo. I remember when I started with like $100 demo account, you know,
Yeah.
because like the account, I think on MetaTrader is like 3,000 the minimum, and I was placing trade to go down until 100, and from 100 I was trading until like 600 and 1,000, and that's how I built my confidence. You know, started with like a lower amount and try to grow it, not flip it, but to grow it over time. You know,
Mm.
and yeah, it worked like that. And the next question is, how do you think that people will become successful traders? What do you think is the secret behind that? Do you think is discipline? Do you think is the fact that they trade a very good strategy? Or do you think is about the mindset? Because for me, I think psychology is a big aspect of trading, but people don't talk about it a lot. We only talked about strategy, but your strategy may work for you, but not for me because we have totally different mindsets. So do you think it also impact the trader?
There are three things that will contribute to a trader's success. Three things. The very first thing is psychology. And when I say psychology, it is understanding what exactly you're up against when it comes to Forex. You see, a lot of people are brought into this game via seminars. So
Yeah,
the expectations are ridiculous. Psychology, managing your expectations. The Forex market is an investment vehicle. It is not
yeah,
a 9 to 5. It is an investment vehicle. It's not a gambling casino. It is an investment. It is an investment vehicle. And it needs to be treated as such.
Yeah.
Second thing is education, technical analysis. You need to have your technicals on point. If not, forget it.
Yeah.
You can be the most psychological person. You can be the best risk manager. Your technicals need to be on point. You need to understand the concept of price action. Why does price move in a certain way? Once you have a realistic approach to Forex, you have your education sorted out, the next thing you need is a game plan / capital. Having a game plan / capital simply means that I have $1,000 and I want to make $1 million. I can't take $1,000 to $1 million. It is unrealistic, hence point number one. So how do I go about achieving this $1 million with $1,000? I will take my $1,000 and try and double it over a period of 6 to 8 months. Now I'm saying 6 to 8 months because you are not doing this for yourself. You are not doing this to feed your family. You are doing this to build what they call a portfolio that you can then show to investors that will then attract funding into your trading organization or your trading account or whatever thing it is you have going on for yourself. Once you are able to attract funding, the same systematic way you used to grow your $1,000 to $2,000 is the same way you would then, because once you're able to grow 1K to 2K, you see, the thing about trading is once people can identify, once you can tell somebody, finding investors are the easiest thing to do in this life. I keep telling traders. I keep telling them that once you can tell somebody that I flip this thing from 1K to 2K, the person that was telling you like, I don't have money, $5,000 is going to come out. I don't know. Okay, so the next question you hear is, so if I give you $5,000, are you trying to say that you can give me $10,000? You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So grow your account, focus on growing your account in a way that it is presentable to an investor. This money is not for you. It is for your business. Trading is a business. Then you start to solicit for funds, bring them on board, knowing fully well that it took you 8 months to flip this account, meaning that you are doing roughly about 10% a month. When you then take on this funding, it's the same thing. You're not stressed, you're not pressured. It's 10%, 5% a month. This is exactly how you start to build your capital base and your portfolio base until you get to the $1 million. This is the sequence and this is the game plan. If you think in your real life or your spirit world that you can come into Forex with $1,000 and you want to become rich, you are in for a rude shock.
Yeah.
A very rude shock. A lot of people might not watch this interview, they might tune off by this point, but my name is Dapo Willis and I'm the one that's going to talk about Forex, unfortunately. This is the game plan I've just said. So realistic expectation, which is psychology, get your education right. There's so many academies there. Obviously, I'll speak about mine because I feel it's one of the best. Dude, you need to drop the links in one of these things.
Yeah, I'll put your link for your YouTube channel in the description. And yeah, they can check everything and go buy the course too.
Good, and start off with the game plan. And at least now you can breathe like, okay, at least I can see a future with this thing. I can see where this thing is going to, because when you're used to doubling accounts, it's scary because you can be up one day, you can be down one day. But when you've grown an account consistently, calmly, there's like, there's that certain level of confidence that comes with
exactly.
Building something here.
You take your time, yeah.
You know what I mean? That I know that take care of me, can take care of my family. But when you're a flipper, there's no stability. You're up today or you're down tomorrow. So that's just my advice.
Yeah.
These are 3 key things that will make a trader successful. That's your expectation. You need to calm down. You need to calm down.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. That was well said. And now we're at the end of our interview. Where do people can find you to connect online?
So there are two places I'm most active. The first one is YouTube. So my YouTube channel name is Dapo Willis. So most of you are probably going to watch it on my channel. Some of you are going to watch it on his channel.
I'm gonna put the link down in the description, guys. So at the end of the video, make sure that you go subscribe to his channel because it drop a lot of good videos with a lot of content.
Exactly. So Dapo Willis is on YouTube. Just type Dapo Willis. Instagram and Instagram every day. So my Instagram name is Dapo Willis.
Yeah.
Dapo Willis.
You know what? There is when I followed you, there is a guy that followed me back, but it wasn't you. It was someone else. You know.
Oh yeah. So
yeah.
You know what? People start creating like lookalike accounts of you and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it was a scammer.
So obviously they're going to have various crazy accounts. You know, people just trying to be you when you're, you know.
But don't worry, I have your IG. I'm gonna put it
in
the video. Don't worry.
When you're following me, just check. Just click on the picture based on the amount of comments you see there and how many likes. And now determine, okay, this is a real Dapo Willis.
Yeah, but it was funny because he had your last video of when you went to the business meeting to meet your investors in the jet. They have that, they have like the stories, the highlights, they have everything like it look like your account, and they have like I think 4,000 subscribers, like something like that. But yeah, that's crazy. It was like you, like if I didn't know you, I would have thought it was you. Exactly. I think they track your account. They see people that follow you and they follow them back.
Yeah, the thing is, Instagram is really slacking these days because it's not just happening to me. A lot of people, like a lot of known people on Instagram, they're getting a lot of people like creating dummy accounts of them, and it's ridiculous. But I don't know, just when you go on Instagram, type my name, open it, check the picture, look at the comments. If there's a lot, usually the real accounts have a lot of comments because it's real people and real likes. The fake accounts don't have comments. Nobody, you know what I mean? So just look, once you see comments and engagement and it's actually me, make a follow, man. And follow me for daily updates, day in the life of Dapo Willis and all my